2 for Chirping. Brandon Yeamans. I actually forgot the podcast name a second ago. I really don't. We're going live, right? No, this counts, right? What's up, Yemmer?
Not much. Just happy to be here.
Yeah, you are. After taking a puck to the face.
Yeah, it was a tough day, but we rallied through it, and here we are.
Dude, you literally took a puck. It actually doesn't look that bad, but you're gonna have some sniffles throughout this episode.
Yeah, a couple, maybe a nose blow, but we'll
nose
rally
blow
through it. Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah, we're good.
I was texting Sean, who is kind of overseeing our department, and he knew we were doing this today, and I was like, "You're not gonna believe this. I just got down here. There's blood on the ice. Brandon Yeamans took a puck to the face. I don't know what's going on yet." And I said, "You can't make this up."
Yeah, legit. I'm lucky it hit me off the post, off the straight part of my nose. So if it was a little bit higher, we'd had a broken nose. I don't think I would have been here. And if it was a little lower, I would have lost all my teeth. So
who's to blame?
Come on. We'll say it. Luke Brown.
Brownie.
Yeah, Brownie. Apologized, and we'll see. Maybe lunch is on him today, but definitely did not mean to do it. It was just a tough angle. I don't know why he shot it high, but
yeah.
I'm to blame too. I was too close to the net.
So he shoots it, it goes off left or right post?
Left post. I was sitting back door, straight off the elbow of the crossbar, and no time to react, right off my face.
That sucks, man.
And then next thing I know, I look down, it's just a pool of blood, and I'm trailing off the ice. And Painter's like, "Yeah, she's leaking."
She's leaking.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So when I got down there, I didn't see you yet, but I got down 10:20, morning skates at 10, and I looked around a little bit, and then Tim came out. I was like, our athletic trainer, Tim Murray.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Tim. He's a great guy. But I looked around and I saw Tim, and I was like, "Tim, did Yemmer skate today?" He's like, "Oh yeah, he got hit with a puck in the face." And I'm like, "Oh man, But look at you, man. I was so because I'm sorry, man. I'm going to call it out. All right. Nothing wrong with this. You care about the way you look. You care about your presentation, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, he got hit in the face with a puck. He's not going to want to do this.
No, we're good, though. We made it through. If anything, it just makes me look a little tougher.
Yeah.
We'll get the black eye going.
Yeah, for real.
But we're good. We'll rally through it.
You got a brand. And if you don't have a brand, you need to use this, man.
Yeah.
You're out there.
I should.
But in a good way.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just... pretty boy from Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's funny though is that pretty boy, but a smart kid too. You're the whole don't judge a book by its cover, but a lot of people think okay, hockey players are just that.
Yeah.
Hockey players.
100%.
Buddy, you're a substitute teacher. You're writing papers on bus trips.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
It's been a grind the last 3 months. So back home, I'm still in school, obviously. I graduate in a couple weeks.
York University.
Yeah, York University. Okay. So I'll have my major's teaching. And then I have a minor in business. So it's been a lot of papers over this last little bit.
Yeah.
Newfoundland, I'm working on an essay. It's just a lot of time management, I'd say it comes down to, and prioritizing. Sometimes you have to pass up on hanging out with the guys just to finish that. So it takes also a weight off my back, so I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
And kind of a vicious cycle once that starts.
Dude, that's tough. And especially on the road, even from my stance, trying to prep for games, it's hard when everybody wants to go out.
Yeah.
What do you want to be, the one guy back in the hotel room?
I know. That's the tough thing is the good thing about school is you have your dates and your deadlines that you know ahead of time in university. So I've been just chipping away at it whenever I get time. So that way, when the deadline's coming up, it's okay, I'm already done. It's more just a revise, edit, and then send in. Because if I were to wait till last minute, a lot of people do in school because you have other things going on, it's it's too much, and especially with the hockey and all of that.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to keep on top of my studies for sure.
So what's the longest paper you've done? I didn't know you did it in Newfoundland, but to be honest, it's kind of tough. Once you're on the road and guys are kind of going off on their own, in Iowa, I probably saw you for 20 minutes, and we were there for 5 days. Newfie, I don't know what you did. The one I remember is Kalamazoo. We had a morning game. We went we beat KZoo in the morning, drove 5-6 hours to Iowa.
Yeah.
And in that, almost the entire time of that bus, you're in your cot writing a paper.
Doing my paper.
Yeah.
The longest one I've done was 12 pages. That was the one I was doing down in Iowa and KZoo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right now, it's not too bad. I have to do 3 essays for my final exam. So 2 short ones, which is 1,000, 1,200 words. And then I have to do a long one, which could be 3,000 max. But it won't be too bad. Once you kind of get that over that writer's block, you're flying. It's just trying to get everything going. It's like, man, like this is tough. And then obviously there's distractions along the way. Like you're living with the boys. Like Sean will be like, hey, like you want to play some Warzone or something like that.
There you go.
Like, yeah, you know what? Like you can't always just focus on the school part. Like, you have to have fun too. So there's been a couple instances where I'm kind of dialed into the studies, and he's like, let's jump on the sticks. I'm like, okay, let's go for a little bit. And it's never one game. It's always multiple.
Dude, you can't.
And then it's like, okay, I got to eat dinner now. And the next thing I know, it's like I'm starting back up on my paper at 10:30 at night. And it's like, okay, next thing you know, you look at your phone, it's 12 o'clock. Okay, I got to go to bed. We got to stay in the morning. But obviously it's something I want to complete, and because you never know where hockey goes, and you want to have something to fall back on for sure. Right. Like a lot of the guys on our team have degrees. It's just I'm doing mine right now.
Yeah, you're smart, man.
Obviously, like I wouldn't regret it, and this opportunity's been amazing. Like I'm grateful for it, and it's one of those ones where you have to be able to learn to multitask and like deal with the stresses now, because once you go into the real world, like you have to do that every day.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so are you? I'm sorry if I'm going to be playing around with the mic a little bit. I'm jittery today. We're recording this on a game day, so I'm like kind of hyped up. It's like a different day. You know what I mean?
It's a big day for us today.
Big day, right? Yeah, last home game today. I know these are coming out afterward, but whatever. We can, let you know behind the scenes. Man, there's so much I want to talk to you about, and I know I'm not going to have the time today. This is the same thing with all the ones we've recorded. Like Robo and I did it yesterday, which I felt so bad because you were sitting out here for like a half hour waiting. And then only to come in and find out that the camera died.
We had a malfunction, but it's okay. Yeah. We're here. We're battling through it, and we'll be okay.
Dude, we could have gone for an hour. I think you're the same way, if not more, because like you're doing all these papers, but like you're also a substitute teacher at times too. So like what's going on there, man? I've seen some of your, first off, I'll give you a compliment here. On the road, one of the slickest guys when it comes to the business cash, the little gray pants with the pattern. I'm like, all right, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So
is that what you come in? You come in with like I pictured like that pair of pants with like a little sweater vest, a button down, some glasses.
No glasses.
Large frames.
I do have to wear long sleeves when I teach, just because the tattoos, doesn't look professional.
Sure.
So I always go long sleeves. I had like a polo with like a long sleeve, or a little jacket, like a zip up. But the teaching part of it's been amazing. I was grateful enough to have that opportunity. One of my old teachers was like, hey, like we're looking for substitutes. Is there any chance that you can get a vulnerable sector check, which is like a police report? Okay. And then we can kind of get you involved with the board and go from there. So I've been doing, back home, I was doing everything from grade 4 was the youngest I did to grade 12.
And what are you teaching?
Everything. Like I had to teach French at one point, and I am horrible at French. So that day was a lot of English being taught. And it was like worksheets, and the kids were just like, it was young. I think it was a grade 6 class, so it wasn't too hard. Like I knew what I was saying. But my favorite, I would say, has been like the phys ed when I get those calls. Yeah. The only thing is like I'd get called. So I'd wake up around 6:30 in the morning, get a breakfast in me, and then around like 6:50 to 7:15, I'll get a call. And there's some days where I don't get a call. So it's just like, I'm up, I'll start my day, I'll go work out or whatever. Right. But for the most part, like there's been days where I get 2 calls, and it's like, okay, I already took one. So like they just kind of cross your name off, and it's the next day. But phys ed is the best. Just because like you get to interact with the kids. Like every time it's a phys ed day, if I get substitute, it's always floor hockey.
Makes sense.
Mandatory floor hockey.
Yeah, it's gotta be, man.
It's just because like I remember when I was young, those were the best days. And then like you'll make teams, and then there's always like, oh, there's not enough guys, so I get to go out there and buzz with these little guys.
Coach Yemmer, just absolutely bending these kids.
Yeah. But
for you as floor hockey, like those schools, from what I remember, it was always these like maybe $5 sticks that you could like flimsy. Bend in half, right? It's like a noodle in a pool.
And then the teachers would get mad because you'd sit and start stepping on the curve. Yep. So you would have like a guy going left hand for one shift and then right, and then eventually the blade's just so flimsy it breaks. Yep. I've been in trouble for that.
That's awesome. As a teacher?
No, not as a teacher. As a teacher, I'm the one saying, hey, you can't do that. And then they look over and I'm the one stepping on it.
Setting up one tees in the left?
Yeah, no.
The poor kids got no pads on. Like, what is going on?
It's road hockey gear, and they're using the orange ball. It's like, man, kids get a couple shots to the face and then they're crying. But no, the teaching has been something that obviously I kind of figured out as I got older. Growing up, I was always like a really energetic and like not crazy, but like I love to talk.
Yeah.
So when I was like younger, it was like, okay, like you got to be quiet. And my parents got a few calls home, to say the least.
Yep.
Just that, like, not that I was ever a bad kid, but it was like, hey, like, he's talking a lot. Like, he doesn't know when to turn off.
Look what I do for a living.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So for me to, like, be on the other hand or other side of it and be watching kids that were, like, just like me, it's like, that's what makes me want to teach, is because, you know, they're, like, they have, like, bright futures and, like, they just need that like extra push.
Yeah.
And that's what like decided where I was like, hey, like I want to teach.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
When I think about that though, I can't help but think this, and we all know it. Substitute teachers, man. Some of them, it's like, oh, we got a sub today.
Oh yeah.
And the kids are like,
oh yeah,
you know, oh, look at this guy, look at this girl, like, you know, really making it tough on the teacher.
To say the least, it's been I've had a couple like difficult classes.
Yeah. Paper airplane getting thrown at you while you're writing on the chalkboard.
The craziest is like I'll go in, and I've been there because I was the one that would mess around with the substitute teachers.
Okay.
So I know the game.
Yeah.
So you pick that kid out right away, and or the kids, the group, and you just like, I'm an open book with them. I'm like, look, like I've been in your position. I know it's a substitute teacher. All I ask is just respect. I'm like, if you guys have to go to the bathroom one at a time, boy, girl, it depends on the age group too.
Right.
For the younger kids, like I've learned as I've been teaching that you can say things that will make them sharpen up. So like the grade 4 class, it's all I have to threaten is I'm going to write your name down for your teacher. And it's like night and day. They'll get rowdy, and then I'll be like, okay, like I grab a piece of paper and like I start to like scribble the kid's name down, and then the kid like freezes, and it's
That's
like,
great.
So I don't like doing that because it's like, honestly, at the end of the day, I barely leave a bad note. Like, I'm not there to get these kids in trouble.
You get the rep then from the kids. So then you
you
come
do.
back in a couple weeks, they're like, oh, Mr. Yeamans is here.
Exactly. And that's what happened is like my first couple of days, it was like, I also don't look too old either.
No.
So like, they're like, how old are you?
Yeah.
And then when I was teaching the high school kids, that was tough because my sister is in second year university.
Okay.
So I taught at my old high school.
Yeah.
So like there was kids that she knew and they knew me. So it was just a little bit awkward at first.
Yeah.
But like at that point, it's more respect. Like they know who you are. They're not going to be like idiots. And if they are like in high school, you just send them to the office.
Yeah. Have you had to do that as a sub?
One, because the person, I'm not going to say kid because he was a person.
All right.
Kept getting up and going to the bathroom. And I was like, hey man, like just, if you have to go, just come talk to me. Like I have no problem.
Yeah.
I'll just write your name on the board. And then when you come back, like I'll erase it. And he just kept getting up and leaving. And then like I would have to get up and be like, hey, come back in.
What are you teaching?
That was a business class. It was a grade 12, I want to say, grade 11 or 12 business class.
All right.
But it's not even teaching. Like at high school, in the high school, like substitutes, it's legit. You're sitting there and they just give you worksheets and hand them out, or it's a work period.
Right.
And like at that point, I'm like, hey, if you guys want to sit together, do it by all means. But like, just don't be too loud because then the next door class gets the teacher coming over and being like, what's going on? Just like sit in your own little spots, hang out, talk, do whatever you got to do. And in high school, you can be on your phone too.
Right.
So like they're on their phone, they're hanging out. And like half the time I'll have like students come up and just sit and talk to me. Yeah. Which is fine because like what else? It just makes the day go by faster.
Well, for real. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you get to know them, you build a little connection here and there. And then like a lot of them will be like, oh, like, what are you doing here? Like, are you in school still? Because they know like they're smart. And then I always talk about hockey, and then that leads to another thing. And half the time there's junior hockey players in that class. So I'll talk to those guys about hockey, and like we'll just kind of start comparing like stories and stuff like that. Obviously, you have to keep it PG. Like you can't be too crazy because at the end of the day, you are supervising them, and like you have to be professional. But with the younger kids, it's more like you have to act professional. You can't be too nice to them. You can't be like soft because they'll just like take it and run with it.
Yeah. So in grade school, like I assume Canada's similar to us, like at least where I was, like grade school ended like early June. Yeah. Okay. So like hypothetical, obviously we want to win here.
Yeah.
Okay. If it does end short, Is there any chance that you would go back and sub before the end?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's already been.
Dude, you're gonna have a badge of honor though this time, because instead of like talking to some of the junior kids, you're like, yeah, I played in the coast. Like,
Yeah.
this guy's a pro hockey player.
Yeah, they'll be like, okay, what are
That's
you doing
sick,
back?
dude.
But no, hopefully, obviously, we go the ways, and I don't need to go back. But I mean, if everything, I guess, doesn't work out and I'm home, I will obviously go back and kind of make a little bit of money here and there. And it's good to get back in that environment to kind of keep the brain sharp and see. But
dude, so where's your brain right now? Like, you're gonna try and play pro hockey as long as you can?
Yeah. So like, obviously, my goal is to play pro hockey and make a career and living out of it. But I want to have something to fall back on. That was like my biggest thing. I went to school because like my parents did so much for me growing up that I didn't want to let my scholarship go to waste.
Yeah. What did your parents do?
Like for work?
Yeah.
So my mom is a supply teacher, secretary. She does a little bit of both. My dad owns his own construction company.
Nice.
So
blue collar.
Yeah. Hard workers. The biggest thing is like my parents, like, they didn't force me to go to school. When I finished junior, like, I was looking at playing pro and I was like him and hawing, and I had an opportunity, but I was like, you know what, like, that's so much money that's just gonna go to waste. I'm like, you guys did so much for me. The least I could do is obviously get an education, just so they're happy and content if anything were to go wrong with hockey. So I did. That's
a mature decision, man.
Yeah. And like my dad was saying, like, oh, the school's always gonna be there, like, don't worry about it, like, go play pro. And I was like, yeah, I get that, but at the same time, like, I don't want to be 26, 27 years old coming in to school for the first year. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want that. I'm like, at the end of the day, I fast-tracked my degree too. So I was taking, when I was playing at York, a regular course load is like 18 minimum credits.
Okay.
And
so what's that, 6 courses a semester?
That would be 3 a semester.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
That's the way York was. Okay. And then you can go 30 is like a normal student, like, who's not on a athletic scholarship or whatever it is. Like, they're just 30 credits is like a full course load.
But you were on a scholarship though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's just like an average student that was just attending the university. Right. My first 2 years, I took 36 credits a semester. Wow. Yeah, it was insane. Like,
that is insane.
It was a lot. And I was also supply teaching, and I was working insurance. Jeez. Yeah. So to say the least, like,
dude, you're a grinder, man.
Yeah. That was the biggest thing, is like, I was like, I just want to grind now. So when I'm older, like, I can settle down and be like, hey, like, I had my grinding days. Now I can have fun and like relax.
There's always 2 schools of thought to that. You know what I mean? Like, it's always hard because you want to live in the moment. Like, I get that way. I think everybody does. But like, what are we all sitting there wanting to achieve? I mean, I could be wrong. I feel like everybody wants to get to a point where they, you know, sure, if you can't be rich, just be well off. Make enough money that you can live a good quality of life. Yeah. But at the same time, like, you're sacrificing things in the here and now for the hope that you're going to make that good quality of life, right? So like, it's such a balance, because you got to live in the moment too. Like, you're talking about being on the road, like, you got to dedicate that time to getting that work done, because like you said, your mom and dad paved the way for you to get a good education. Yeah. But in the same moment, like, you're a professional hockey player. Nobody can take that away from you now. No. You are a pro hockey player, and like, you're on the road in Canada and in Iowa and in Kazoo, and like, you got to have fun, but work hard at the same time.
Exactly. It's working smart is what I think.
Working smart. There we go.
Because like, the way I look at it is, I'm sitting on the bus. How much fun could you have on the bus? Yeah. A lot of the guys sleep. You'll have your card games going on and whatever, like a little bit of banter. But if I can grind in my cubby and finish my homework then, when we go to these cities, I have no stress. Yeah. I'm just there. I'm enjoying the moment.
Versus like getting to the city and thinking like, oh my God, I don't really want to stay out. I got to write the stamp paper.
Exactly. You know? And then like, I'm really good with like my time management skills too, and not procrastinating on things. So they give you so much time ahead for these papers that even if the teacher hasn't gone over, the professor hasn't gone over that material yet, I'll read ahead and get on top of it. So that way I can start that paper and do that topic. And at that point, like, they went back in person. So regardless, I was always going to be behind in that sense, where I'm not participating in lectures. I'm doing my own teaching, and yeah, it's a grind, but at the same time, like it's gonna help me for my future.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So do you think like you're gonna be like if it's not hockey as being a teacher, is that what you're gonna want to do?
Yeah, I mean, like hockey is my end goal, and if I can make a living and career out of it, that's what I want to do.
Right.
I mean, I love hockey too much to
Yeah,
give that up.
for sure.
But at the same time, like I don't want to have nothing to fall back on.
Right.
I mean, one day you have to hang them up.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah.
It's just when is that day gonna come? You don't know. Like injuries happen, stuff like that. Obviously, you don't want to talk about it, but it's reality. Like
Right.
you're one hit away from everything being taken away from you.
Yeah,
and
that's a good way to look
at
at
the end of
it.
the day, you can't take a degree from you.
Yeah.
So that was
yeah.
like also my thought process when I was deciding on going to school or going to play pro right
Yeah.
away out of junior. The grind to get here, like with schooling, was hard. Like especially when COVID in a way did help me though, because everything was online. I was working from home and I was teaching from home. So
Any hockey at all? I know the school didn't play.
We had no hockey.
Any rinks open to like skate?
Under the table a little bit. but,
Oh,
like,
okay.
at that point, like you're risking getting a fine. And
Yeah.
we didn't have a season, so really, what was I gonna be skating for if
Right.
it wasn't gonna be anytime soon? We had a season,
Yeah.
so I would go like to the ODRs with my buddies and like play pond hockey, but that was basically it. Like
Yeah.
I was grinding school. Like I was in my basement, like in my office all day. It was insane. Like I was eating. I don't think dinners. I would probably have like 1 to 2 dinners a week with my family, like upstairs, because I was either working the night shift. Like my day would consist of waking up at that 6:30ish to see if I got the call to teach.
Yeah.
If not, I was working out at my home gym in the morning. I would log on to school for my Zoom lecture, do that. Then right from there, I'd have like a little bit of a break. I'd either, if I didn't work out in the morning, I'd work out then, or
Right.
like kind of just relax a little bit and then go log on for my insurance job. And
Yeah.
I'd work till 10 o'clock at night. And then at that point, it's either a little bit of homework or some Xbox. Like I wasn't doing much.
Let's get back to that because I know Warzone, we're talking COD, but you and I
Yeah.
had talked before. I know for at least me during the pandemic and even still, like World of Chell, playing Eshel, you know, a little show 21, show 22 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
So that
buddy, you're legit. Like
that was a real good time. I remember like we were playing, so I'd finish work at 10 and it was like my buddies were sending me a message at like 9:55, like log on. So I would already be like finishing up my shift and logging on my Xbox, and it was like jumping right into the games.
Yeah.
We played a little bit competitively too, like as we were talking about.
Yeah. LG, right?
LG, yeah. That was cool, but I mean, it was different to say the least, because you're playing a lot like with people that don't really know hockey but just love the game.
Yeah.
And the way they took it was like, this is our pro.
Dude, LG is so different. Like, because you're right. Like they have websites and everything, their own standings. Like they treat you like you're a pro. Like you try out for it. And it's like, okay, you're going to be in the CHL, and then like you play well enough. Like, okay, we're giving you a call up to the ECHL, and it's like, what is going on here?
Insane.
You know?
And like it was a blast.
Yeah, it's super fun.
And it also kept your mind fresh because like I was playing on Guelph Storm.
Yeah.
The OHL.
That's right.
We had like 4 or 5 of my buddies from home, and we took up a roster spot. So like you had 3 different lines, which was 3 different games.
Yeah.
And it was all of my friends playing together, and it was a blast. And we all knew hockey. But like we had a GM of our team that wanted us to play systems and would watch over our games.
Yeah.
Like they would, because everything's live streamed. So they would be watching our stream, and like if we were winning, he didn't care.
Yeah.
But like if we were losing or like not playing well, and like he had a system and we weren't following it, he would be sending us like a Discord message saying like, why aren't you guys playing
we're still talking Xbox, by the way.
This is
like
Xbox.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
but
is
like
insane.
No, you're right. Well, and I know so for me, I think I don't know. I would love to play you like 1v1 in Chell just to see where we're at, you know, cuz like for me, I play a ton of Eshel, but like I just straight up stay in that. Like my group, we do 5s, no goalie. I just like AI goalie, you know. That way certain moves like always work consistently, you know. But like, dude, we'll put up points. Like we just got done playing playoffs like a month or 2 ago. The recent one we didn't do much because I had a lot of away games. We were on the road. The one before that, we finished 61st in the world.
Oh my God.
So like, dude, I
Are you on what system?
Xbone.
Okay.
The X, well, Series S right now, next gen.
Yeah, I'm on.
Are you on the next gen?
Next gen, yeah.
The X or the S?
X.
X.
Yeah.
You got the big one.
Yeah.
The 5 hundo.
Yeah, we got 2.
How'd you cop this, man? This thing was hard to find. That's why I gave up and got the discless one.
My Zia, which is aunt in Italian.
Yeah.
She was on Best Buy, just like kept refreshing when they dropped, and she got 2, like Series X.
Yeah.
And then she got my cousin a PS5. So she was like firing on all cylinders. I think they had 2 laptops running and a phone, and they got it for us. So my mom was like, "Hey, like, I don't ask for much at Christmas," and she's like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Honestly, like, I don't know. Whenever I want something, I just go get it." And she's like, "Okay, like, do you want that Xbox?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, I'll take the Xbox." So I had the original Xbox, like the OG, Xbox One. Like,
wait, hold on. We got to figure this out because there's an OG Xbox and then there's Xbox One.
Xbox One, like the first Xbox One.
Okay, because I'm thinking like there's
the cube one or the square.
Well, yeah, like because the original Xbox is like the black box with like the green in the middle.
No, okay, no, not
then there's
that,
the 360.
Then
So then there's the Xbox One,
and then I went Xbox One first gen.
Yeah, so that's what I
never like upgraded. So,
it's kind of like a sleek black design, right? Yep, that's the one I had too.
The fan on it was so loud.
Yeah,
like, it's
hot, dude.
It was very hot.
That if you played that in the summer and didn't have an air conditioner, bro, your room sucked.
Yeah, it was awful.
Like hot as hell in there.
Exactly.
You know.
So I had that, and like the way I looked at it is like I kept it in good condition. Like I didn't throw it around.
Yeah, same.
I was like, it never broke.
Yep. I kept the styrofoam padding that it came in the box, so whenever I moved around, I just repackaged it.
Yeah. So I was like, man, like why am I gonna like keep wasting money on the new ones until they come out with like a new console,
the next gen?
And then they did that, and I was like, this is what I need. Like I need it. So I did that, and then my dad, because he had the 360, and when I was growing up, we'd always play Xbox together. Yeah, it was so fun. Like we'd play Call of Duty hardcore, and we'd go in lobbies, and like we'd go game chat. So you'd get hot mics, you'd get chirps.
Oh my gosh,
it was unreal. So he was like, to my mom, I was like, you know what, like get me that for Christmas too. Yeah. So we both had the new Xbox, and then he doesn't play any like sport games except for MLB. Oh, that's MLB is the game.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting that. And the sick part about MLB, which by the way, I'll put the invite out right now. I'm running a league now. I was just talking to some of my buddies. I'm gonna run a league on the online custom leagues they have in MLB. So like we'll do a draft, we'll put everybody's name in a hat. And like, okay, your name's pulled, Yemmer, like you're picking 8th overall, so you get to like, so first overall pick, I'm taking the Dodgers, second Nats, whatever, and eventually gets down to you. If you want in this,
I'm in on that.
We can throw you in.
I'm in on it. So I last season we did that. My dad, I play baseball back home in the summer.
Okay.
Like slow pitch.
Yeah. Softball.
Softball, yeah. Yep. And my dad and all his buddies were like talking about the game, and I was like, I have it.
Dude, it's sick.
So we did a custom league, a money league. We threw some money in on it.
Should do that.
It was $20 a head, and I ended up winning.
Oh, how much did you win?
I think it was $120.
So what, like a 6-person league, 7-person league?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and then so we did another league, and the same thing, but the way we did the draft order is last place got to pick first, and vice versa. So the first, I won 2 out of 3 seasons.
That's nice.
And then my dad won the last one.
Yeah.
So I went. Like the top teams were taken right away.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Dodgers were always gone. Jays, I mean, we're from Toronto, so Jays were gone right away.
Yankees are gonna go quick.
So I won the first league with the Yankees because no one wanted them because they're slow. Like
that's true.
They have the speed.
Yep. You're not stealing bases.
If you're stealing bases, especially like against your buddies, that's crucial. Like I was just a slugger. Like I was getting homers. If I was getting on base, they were slow. Like you had guys with 1 speed. Like where are you going?
Yeah.
So I went,
where are you going?
I went Yankees. Then I went Astros.
Oh, okay.
But I was playing online roster, and the Astros pitching, like their rotation was unreal. So I was like, let me go this. Then I click on it, and we started our league up, and it didn't go new roster.
Because Verlander's was hurt, I think. Yeah.
So my roster, like I had 79 overalls in my starting rotation.
It's rough, man.
So I was like winning games just by like how good I am with my hitting. Like my batting. My pitching was horrible. Yeah. Like I had a guy who was throwing, oh my God, I think it was not Garcia.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know, just because Houston's in the AL. So, like, I'm a Phillies fan.
True,
So,
okay,
like, I
okay.
usually stick to the National League. But
So this guy stunk, and I always had to use him because like you have to go through your rotation.
Yep.
And you have your stem.
your
health.
energy or
Like,
whatever.
you had to like
Yep.
get that back. But I ended up pulling that one out too. I won that, and then my last season I was using the Athletics. I went Oakland.
Yeah. I had them in our league.
Their bats stunk.
Yeah, I
but they
know.
were so fast.
Yep.
But that's not my game.
Yeah.
Like I don't play, what is it, small ball?
Yeah,
Is that the word? I don't do that. Like I go for the fences.
Yeah.
So I'm always a power hitter. I never go contact.
Yeah.
Like,
Who's the ace on Oakland and MLB The Show? Was Chris Bassett or
Yes,
whatever?
yes.
He was like their number
Yeah,
one guy. So
he is.
I had them, dude. Our league was 24 teams. So now I think of what you're saying about money, and holy hell, there's some money to be made if we could get everybody's heads wrapped around it. Problem is, like, there's some guys that were like, well, I know I'm gonna suck.
Yeah.
So I'm just playing to have fun. So like, I can't convince
But
somebody
at
to
the
put
end of the
$20
day,
in.
though, it's $20. Like to make it fun.
I know.
I mean, you can get guys. Like
Yeah.
I also did another league with my buddies, and we had a lot, but it was randoms too. And at that point, like it was too many guys, and no one would finish games. So then you had to start sitting games.
That's another problem that I had.
So
I hate that.
I hate that. So like with my dad and his buddies, we had a rule that you had to play at least one game a night.
Yep, that's
Some
a good
guys
rule.
would start a season and finish the season.
Dude, yeah, well, that's the thing. It just depends, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm off and like nobody's around or whatever, I might bang out 6-7 games that day.
Yeah.
You know.
How many innings would you do though?
We did 7.
Okay, we did. We did 7 as
So
well.
we dropped
We
it
did
down.
9 the final season. It was too much.
It is. It's
it
tough.
was way too much
It's tough.
because like you're looking at an hour game.
Right.
Easily.
Well, and the other thing when you go into the settings is you pick how many times you play each team.
Yeah.
Like in a season.
Yeah.
And you go 1, 3, 5, or 7. So we were like, all right, I forget it. Like I said, it was in the 20s in terms of players we had. And it was like, all right, we're going to you play everybody 3 times.
Okay.
Came out to like a 75 game season.
Yeah.
And ultimately we got to the playoffs, and then like we got through it, but we got through it because we were simming a shitload of games at the end. Cause it's just like, dude, nobody's like it's just too much. So I think this time around, I want to keep it to like less people, maybe like 40, 50 games, 7 innings still, just get through them, you know?
Yeah, get through them and get them over with.
Yeah.
Nose is starting to leak if we got a Kleenex.
Do we have Kleenex here?
Sorry.
Producer.
We'll keep going.
We're being told that we're near the end of this anyway, but we are gonna. I'll tell you what. There's gonna be a part 2 of this at some point. We have to do this because really we just talked about teaching in video games for 30 minutes.
Yeah, no hockey.
No hockey.
But I mean, it's called 2 for chirping, so we should.
Yeah,
part 2 will be about hockey.
There we go. I mean, we talked a little bit about hockey, but like the cool thing is, again, and what's neat about these podcasts is that like, you know, it's all about like I told you when we came in, you're like, oh, so how is this? Like, what are we doing? I was like, we're shooting the shit.
Yeah.
You and I have done interviews for broadcasting.
Yep.
And it's different.
Yeah.
Because there's a different tone I'm taking in that. But like this,
it's more of a professional. This is just like catching up. And
yeah, like, but it's still, I don't know. Maybe this isn't professional because I'm a broadcaster and I'm cursing. But like at the end of the day, like it's fun. This is what people do. There we go. I hope we get that hand on camera too, so that way everybody knows there's more than 2 people in here.
We're good.
You know. But yeah, man, like this is so fun, and I'll end it on this note. I was talking to Matt Robson yesterday, and I said that I believe you can learn from every conversation.
100%.
Every day in life, there's a lesson that you can learn, and I think from us even just being able to do this and have fun, like you can learn from one another.
Yeah.
You learn about somebody, and then to the fan watching, and they see you fight, and they see you, play with that snarl, like. You're a person, not just a hockey player.
Exactly.
And a teacher.
And a teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it doesn't look good that the teacher's fighting, but
dude, you gotta do it, man.
Okay, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I wanted to jump into that, but we're not gonna have enough time today. So we're gonna do a part 2 at some point because I want to talk about the line where I'm fighting to stay in the lineup.
Yeah.
Again, we'll save it. That's a teaser.
That's a teaser. Yeah.
Yeah, Yemmer.
Thanks for having me.
Buddy, happy to have you on here. That's another 2 for chirping with my boy Brandon Yeamans.